Hello and welcome to Diamonds and Duds. I am Ivan.
And I'm Charles. How you doing?
Good. We have episode 29. We're continuing a tradition. We're doing another Christmas holiday sci-fi review here. You made me watch the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yes, folks, it is the holy grail here. The Star Wars Holiday Special. This came out in 1978, a year after the original Star Wars, set after it. We have, at this point, George Lucas was already hard at work writing the sequel because, the original Star Wars had broken box office records. And, so he's writing the sequel, and CBS comes with like, you know what, we want you to do something Star Wars-y, in the meantime, keep it fresh on the mind. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to have to, I have some ideas, but I'm going to have to hand over the official reins. And, they just, the CBS saw, you know what was really big at the beginning of television? Variety shows. And so, you know what? I think a variety show is a perfect fit for Star Wars.
Yeah, and the people who thought that were wrong.
Yeah.
And they thought, what better people to, hand over the reins of Star Wars than people who mainly do stuff like this kind of stuff.
Yep. And so the official Chewbacca and Han Solo try to get to the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day. But are impeded by Imperial blockade. Chewie's family passes the time with various forms of entertainment. Yes, I used air quotes when I said entertainment.
And this was the people who are credited. I'll say credited is only because I can't think of a bad word for this. Yeah. The people credited with directing this are Steve Binder and David Akamba. Steve Binder is I'll say most known for after this. He's the one who did the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And he also did the Chevy Chase show.
Oh, wow.
So that is what he is. He cursed us with. And David Akamba, let's see. From what I forgot to write this down, but he's known for directing Slipstream. And
nothing since.
And when we looked at this, it has a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think the 25% is people this is campy enough that it's worth watching. One of the best reviews that I found on it was from Alan French, who said, "You will curse God for this show's existence."
That is not an exaggeration. Oh, by the way, did you happen to notice who one of the writers was?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so basically this was given into the hands of a writer known as Bruce Vilanch. Bruce Vilanch, okay, I kind of heard that. He's basically I don't know. I doubt he still does. I don't even know if he's still alive anymore. If he is, fuck him for this. But he wrote the Oscars for a long time. He's kind of known for writing the Oscars. He did a few cameos here and there. But yeah, Bruce Vilanch has admitted that he was bathing in cocaine during this entire writing process. He was doing bricks of it constantly during the entire writing of Pirates. And and Bruce Vilanch, apparently he's written another one that we've done here.
Yes, he wrote Ice Pirates.
Oh wait, or was he in? He was in Ice Pirates.
Oh, he was in Ice Pirates.
Yes, he was one of the characters in Ice Pirates. Yes, he was. I think he played the flamboyant gets his head cut off.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right. And what I had known Bruce Vilanch for was Hollywood Squares.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the most recent one with, I forget the guy's name, the one from the 90s that I used to watch a lot as a kid. I remember that probably just because they couldn't find anybody the fuck to be on it. Oh.
Yeah. So this only aired one time on television. And so any recording you're able to see today, it's never released on any kind of media. All the existing things were from Good Samaritans who had recorded it or got bootleg copies. There are no legal copies in existence. Legal copies don't. George Lucas famously spent years dedicating his life to trying to track down and personally smash every single one of these. Obviously, he did not succeed. For a while, it was on YouTube, and it would be copyright stricken. Disney's given up. They just let it sit there.
And I think bluntly, at this point, it's probably just Disney probably figures that yes, it's bad. Yes, it puts Star Wars in a bad light. But I think people having fun watching it gets Star Wars in people's minds still is probably.
Yeah, and I think I heard again. I watched a little bit of the show, but I haven't watched it in forever. But I think the Mandalorian show might have even made a reference to something from this.
It wouldn't surprise me, especially that cart. We'll get to it, but and you may not know this, and this is something I probably should. Was this the first appearance of Boba Fett?
Yeah, this was famously the Star Wars Holiday Special is the introduction to Boba Fett. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we start off with Chewie and Han in the Falcon. Now, this is obviously a way shittier Falcon.
Okay, I was wondering if I just didn't remember the first Star Wars very well, but like this scene, it felt like a $5.
Oh yeah, it is because in the original Star Wars, everybody, the whole motley crew, C-3PO, R2. Han, Chewie, Leia, Luke, they can all fit in that cockpit in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
It's a big cockpit. However, in this one, it's just the two of them and a painted backdrop. It's like a cardboard painted backdrop of the Falcon. They're just kind of shaking.
And what my guess, and this is purely a guess by Ivan here, my guess is that George Lucas didn't trust them with the actual, because he's probably getting ready. He knows he's going to do Empire at a certain Empire Strikes Back. At a certain point, they're going to do more movies, and he doesn't trust them to not fucking break it.
Yeah, and yes, so
it.
Lucas's hands are not very much on this. However, we'll get to it. He does not get any kind of pass. You can argue that because he had one note that was only partially followed, and his note probably would have resulted in no Star Wars content ever coming out ever again.
What was his note?
He's saying he was adamant. This is all about Wookiees. He was adamant. There's not one human in this. Only characters are Wookiees. No subtitles. No translations. Only Wookiees growling. That's what Lucas was absolutely adamant that he wanted just that. Okay. And if you don't know, Wookiees don't speak the way we.
Can I speak? Maybe be devil's advocate with that. Do you think part of him thought that if they did that, it wouldn't have made air?
Oh no! He said he was.
Okay.
No, he was desperate.
Part of me wonders if if I get him to only do that, they'll make it, and then it can't air.
No, he wanted that story told. Now, some of it ended up coming back because there's a lot of fucking Wookiees in this without fucking translation.
Yeah, there's a lot of just grunting.
Yes. And so they're in the Falcon. They're being shot at from stock footage via stock footage from.
They're being shot at by the first movie.
Yes, exactly. It's like
the first movie is shooting at CBS.
Yes, and that's what literally goes you're like oh wow they really this is what this is like literally intersplice scenes from Star Wars: A New Hope. And basically they're trying there's Life Day, which we never get told in any kind of context what the fuck Life Day is. Life Day is just fucking Life Day. They're trying to get to Chewie because apparently Chewie has a son, a wife, and I don't know if the older one is his father-in-law or dad, but yeah, he's got a family apparently on Kashyyyk, and they're trying to get him. And how the fuck was Empire Strikes Back not canceled? Because it was only in the writing stage. How was it not canceled after this abomination?
My guess is that people watched this. They didn't like it, but they watched it.
Well, actually, in the beginning, they watched it. It's known as like it started off with really high ratings, but then they literally lost like almost like 80-90% of the viewers dropped after like this is a 2.5 hour movie on TV.
Yeah, and this is something for anybody watching, and you're like, should I watch this? I would say pause it and it's bad, but do yourself a favor and watch it once.
Yes, just. And also,
and remember that it's on YouTube, and if there's any parts that you don't want to watch, just fast forward it.
Yeah, and also, please take breaks. Okay, it's dangerous to your health to watch all 1 hour and 37 minutes in one sitting. It is dangerous to your health.
It will seem like you've watched the entire of Winds of War.
Yeah, I know, right?
Running the risk of getting punched though by my brother, there is one part that I did like in this movie.
Interesting. So we meet the proverbial family because like we're only gonna get quick shots of like the cast. Most of the time we're gonna see Chewie's fucking family.
And here's the thing: I don't think they thought through. And there's a lot of stuff. We could say that line a lot here as we're going through this. But one of the things I don't think they fucking thought through is that this shouldn't be Chewie's family. It should be something else. Because are they saying that Chewie just simply abandoned his family?
Yeah.
Because he probably hasn't seen them since last life day.
Yeah, I know, right?
He hasn't seen his son. Yeah. Because it's like...
In fairness, though, fuck his son. Fuck Lumpy. Lumpy deserves to be a fucking rug.
That is fair.
So we have so Lumpy's the son. We have
what's the dad's name's Itchy?
Is Itchy, and he looks like a predator. Like he needs to be in prison. Predator. Yes. And I don't know what the fuck mom's name is. Who gives a shit about mom?
And this isn't the part that I liked. Yeah. We'll get to the part that I liked, but. I think if this had been done well, okay, not Chewie's family, some other Wookiee thing.
Yeah.
Is there any reason this could? Let's say this had been done really well, which way far from what it was. But let's say it had been done really, really well. Is there any reason this couldn't have turned into a sitcom? Just a 20, they had really weird fucking sitcoms then. Is there any reason there couldn't have been a 20-minute sitcom once a week where they...
I mean, in fairness, England did do a sitcom involving Hitler. Look it up. It wasn't in America. It was an actual thing in England. Heil, honey, I'm home.
But that's the thing I was thinking, because... Obviously, it would have had to have been some sort of 30-minute thing.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why, if they hadn't really put... Because they just came off of Star Wars being this surprise giant hit of one of the best movies ever made. If they're doing this, why not really commit to... I'm not saying spend quality on it.
Yeah. So at this point, I wrote down in my notes... Not for the last time. Good Lord, only 2 minutes in. Okay, Itchy tells Lumpy basically to fuck off. One thing you're going to kind of, because they're Wookiees and they're grunting, and a lot of times there's no humans, we're just going to kind of guess at what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that, I don't know if it worked, as a sitcom with Wookiees. But yeah. Okay, Lumpy is kind of like a brat. He goes outside, and this is gonna be an important thing. Lumpy goes outside, and he's walking on the top of the railing.
Yeah, I didn't. That was dangerous.
It was dangerous as hell, but it shows the railings they have are quite strong, aren't they? Because they can hold, a strapping Wookiee boy without having any issues of possibly breaking. Right?
You're right.
Yeah. So, again, I said, I wrote, Lumpy, Jesus Christ, you were a dumb shit. You are going to fall and fucking die.
And a lot of what this ends up being, small part of Wookiee like family transitioning to next what do they call this type of thing? The
variety sketch.
It was like, okay, time for the next variety bit. Okay, we need to transition to this somehow.
Yeah.
Do we need to okay? Well, what can we do good to who gives a fuck? Just have them mention something.
Yeah, and there's no when you look for logic in this, it's okay. And I wrote making the species that only talks in fucking grunts with no subtitles or translation in the main stars was a bold choice.
Yeah, and it's like. I felt bad for that traitor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the traitor guy.
Because I vaguely recognized his face, but you can tell. I think he was supposed to be like a variety person, but they're like, "Oh fuck, we can't have this for an hour and a half where no one understands anything. You get to stay here and tell them what they're saying." He's like, "Do I have to?" And they're like, "Yes, you're under contract."
Yeah.
He was. My guess is he was on some other show on this network, and they're like, "Yeah, if you don't keep doing this, we're firing you."
Yeah. Fuck you. Haha. I mean, we see Chewie briefly on screen. He's like, trying to get to Life Day, but the Imperials want us and all that. Who gives a shit? But here's the thing: it's widely known, if you follow Harrison Ford, the Harrison Ford, fucking hates Star Wars for the most part.
Yeah.
If you ever wonder why, it's because he had to do this fucking movie.
Yeah, and there was. That actually explains something. Yeah. Because your brother noticed at the beginning, Harrison Ford looked almost energetic at the beginning of this, which he doesn't look in, the new movies.
No. All of the titular stars are in this. They're all glorified cameos, but Luke, Leia, Han, even there's a quick James Earl Jones provided his voice for a couple of lines from Vader. The droids, they're all in it. Which they hit. Carrie Fisher was known to say she had a copy. She had able to obtain a copy of this. This movie is what she always used when she had a party at her house and she wanted the guests to go home. She put on the Star Wars Holiday Special. They would get them to go home every single time. So now we have our first transition after Chewie talks, and Itchy and Lumpy start watching these weird ass mini circus holograms.
Because basically it was like the chess from the first movie that was bluntly really cool. In the first movie that was really cool, but they're like, hey, what if instead of that it was a circus?
Yeah, and there was no build up to it. There was no introducing it. Just all of a sudden they turn it on. It's weird ass holograms dancing for a couple minutes, and
then it's okay, they're on what Ivan thought was going to be a chessboard, and then they're like, hey, no, now they're in the house, and it's
again. Logic takes a vacation this entire time.
It did.
You have to be on acid to get this thing.
Yeah.
And then the little bit where mom tells Lumpy to go do his fucking chores or something, and he acts all in good. He grunts with all in good for his work. Lumpy do this, Lumpy do that. Again, fuck Lumpy.
Yeah. And then what I tend to do with these things is I tend to get shorthand.
Yeah.
So if I ever refer to CF, that's Chewie's family.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I put CF looks in on Traitor for some reason.
Oh yeah, but before we get to the Traitor, we get Luke.
Yes.
Luke and R2.
CF looks in on Luke and R2.
Luke looks incredibly plastic in this. Did you notice? There's a reason, and it's not his fault. Well, if you don't know, the course of Mark Hamill's career change had a sudden, drastic turn after episode 1. Because after episode 1, he was targeted as potentially being like a lead actor, just kind of like, Harrison Ford had. He had a major, massive accident.
Oh, that's right.
Car accident that almost killed him. And then that's so like when the episode 2, like it left him scarred. And like episode 2, when they start out, when he gets like ripped up by that like the ice thing, that was them explaining why his face is different. He's very recently had this accident. He has already had the accident. They cake him with so much makeup so that you can't tell that he looks like a freaking mannequin or something.
He looks like a mannequin who's like, I had to be honest, I forgot about his accident.
Yeah.
But like, he looks like 14.
Yeah, he does. And like, so he's with Arjun, and Mark Hamill's acting here sucks ass. But I mean, let's face it, you can't. One, he doesn't give two shits, and everybody's acting with either bleep bloops like R2 or is a fucking grunting Wookiee.
But also, it would like the script they did. I know it's meant to be a variety show. It was so half-assed because basically, like, okay, Luke, just you're going to be there, and we're going to have a few things we have from this other sci-fi set, and just every once in a while, just use the screwdriver on it, and like. And it's like they didn't really give him any fucking dialogue for what he was doing. And it's like, okay, and you can tell at the end of it, they're like, you know what? We didn't mention what you're working on. Say it's an engine. But there's no way this could be an engine. And at that point, he's like, you know what? If I disagree, they'll make me stay here longer.
Yep.
It's probably what it was.
Yep. And then after that, they check in on their video screen. Apparently, the Wookiees family, they have a live video feed to a trading post. Trading post security footage. Why do they have that?
Because they couldn't explain how to get to the next part of the variety hour.
Yeah. And so it's this trading post guy, this poor bastard that has to, there's an Imperial Guard off duty.
Yeah, the Imperial Guards, like, they basically, the trader has like this one joke about like his like papers because like they probably remember it from World War II or something.
Yeah, really obsessed with it. His ID. He starts showing the Imperial officer and it's really shitty products. It's like he's fucking showing him like a toothbrush or some everyday item like that. And he's just like, yeah, it's gonna do. Or it was like I think it might have been like a hairbrush or something like that. And it's like it'll do all like the Imperial officer like doesn't look like fucking impressive because again it's like a fucking hairbrush.
He's like, dude, and also the Imperial guy's like, dude, guys, I'm off duty. I'm just sort of here to like buy shit.
Yeah, and like, and the trader's like, so he starts talking directly to Chewie's family in the video, and this Imperial officer is probably one of the worst officers in the Empire because the trader's code isn't exactly, the Navajo code talkers of World War II. He's like, he like saying, hi, just like, I'm gonna, get, hi, and, but not so, just blatantly obvious.
Yeah, basically what the trader was gonna tell Chewie's family that he was going to be late, but like they were afraid that the Imperial guy was going to get that he was going to be late, and so they just sort of said he was going to be late and not so many words because Lord knows they couldn't think of something creative.
Yeah, and then so now we get another Empire stock footage alert.
Yes,
and we get to the luckiest original cast member of this thing, in that at least James Earl Jones did not have to be on site at all for this.
No, they just sort of used stock footage of him walking through the...
Well, he was never in the physical body.
No.
But he just had to come into a sound booth and probably say his lines a couple times and call it a day.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And they just use stock footage of like Vader walking around
Yep.
the Death Star or something.
Yeah, exactly. They did, just more stock footage, and then more, Mala, that's the mom, trying to like get Lumpy to help out, and like again, Lumpy's acting like a little shit. I wrote like, Lumpy, you little shit, help your goddamn mother.
Yeah, he's like, Lumpy, your dad abandoned you, and your mom's trying to do everything.
Yeah.
And it's you little shit.
I mean, because your grandpa's a fucking predator, and we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
But now we watch the mom. Again, this is what it's like. Okay, so the mom's gonna make something for Life Day. So we're watching the mom watch a cooking show with
Initially, I wasn't sure if this was B. Arthur, because obviously I know who B. Arthur is, and I know she'll come in a bit. Because I was like, oh, is B. Arthur just way younger than she was on Golden Girls, and so is this? Oh no! And then I was like, oh, I wonder who the fuck this is.
Yeah, no, this is a guy playing a woman. It was almost kind of like it was very close to blackface.
Yeah.
So very close to blackface, and it was like,
well, because there was a female who was doing it before the blackface part.
Yeah. And so, it was just this cooking show was weird. Like, one of the ingredients, one of the roots of it was actually around her neck. Like, why are you wearing food ingredients as a necklace? Weird ass stirring shit. I mean, who thought this would be entertaining?
Oh, I see. You know what? I didn't realize that was a guy.
It's a guy playing a woman.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
And one of the funny things was supposed to be that they had 3 arms, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like,
it's Star Wars. There's aliens, guys.
Yeah, which...
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So they just kind of finish it. We don't even know what the fuck she was making.
She was making some... I think it was meant to be a crock pot kind of thing.
And so then we have more stock footage of TIE fighters and Star Destroyers. And so... Pause it.
All right, we're back. I'm going to call that my bad, guys. The recording on our Apple, what do you call it? The Apple iPad device or whatever. It was still recording, but it wasn't moving. So we thought we had fucked something up. So.
Yeah. So
all right, we're back.
Yeah. So it goes back to a bit of a rough transition. Again, more stock recycled footage of Falcons and TIE fighters. And then, we see a quick little bit of Harrison Ford and Chewie and trying, I'm going to get you back. And you can just see how, you can feel how painful this is for Ford.
Yes. You can feel like he apparently signed on to do Star Wars shit and he didn't have the pull yet to tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, and so that we get a Weird Alarm member, and now kind of Imperials are entering.
They know there's someone from the Resistance or whatever, the Rebels, in the system, so they now have a blockade on the system to try and stop everybody.
Yeah, they mentioned they threatened them with a mind evaporate. I'm like, what the fuck is that for? I really wish Vader would slice and gut all 3 Wookiees.
Yes,
because that would have been nice.
Because then, is this the point where the Imperials just sort of suddenly show up at their?
Yeah, they said the traitor and the traitor. Actually, I think first and the traitor shows up.
Oh, the traitor shows up first because he has a delivery for him.
Yes, he has a delivery
for each one of the 3 of them have a delivery.
Yes.
The mother has something we're gonna see later. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Just one of them stands out.
Did she have the thing with Jefferson Stargate? I think she
probably
did. She was the one with Jefferson Starship. The first one we see is the dad.
Yeah, grandpa.
It's the grandpa, and we had. I'm going to have a little tangent here for us here, Charles.
Yeah.
We're kind of we went to Zoo Lights last night, and we were talking about how we were going to record this the next day, and we were with our sister and her kids and stuff like that. And the sister was like, "Oh, you watched the Star Wars Holiday Special, and I made my brother Charles tell our sister about who's she's in her 40s, and so, but made our brother tell our sister in her 40s this next part, because I'm like, if my brother and I knew this, she had to know it too.
This is true, and this is, for those of us, this is actually my second viewing of the Hallowed Few that have made it through a second viewing. It was during COVID, and there were some people just online in this group. They did a kind of watch, like in a scener or something like that, and I watched it online. And so I had told Ivan that about the Wookiee porn scene. And afterwards, as a Zulu, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't lying about Wookiee porn.
No, you were not lying about Wookiee. You were not lying about Wookiee porn. Yeah. I feel bad for the lady they had do the Wookiee porn, because my guess is that she was just. The station must have owned a record company or something, probably. And this is probably somebody at the time who had like a hit single or something like that they wanted to have appear in this.
Yeah,
and they probably heard, "Hey, it's Star Wars," and they just knew that Star Wars was recently a top thing, and so they signed on to do it. And it's like, hey, they get this thing on TV. Is probably what it was.
Yeah, and so let's set this in, and this legit happened.
It was uncomfortable.
Yeah, so the trader, he says, here's your present, and enjoy your present. Put this virtual reality kind of headset over the grandpa, who starts like looking like a dirty old man. In virtual reality, this woman, they deliberately do not show her below, kind of the shoulder blade, and there's nothing from shoulder blade up. You're designed to kind of initially give the impression that she's naked, and she ended up being pretty close. She's talking about how she's his fantasy. She's like, she says basically, I'm your desire. You created me. And
they make up for it by having it be way longer than it should be.
Oh God, yes! And then she sings a fucking song,
like a full goddamn song.
Yes.
Not like, hey, it would have been funny if it was like a 5-second thing, and like they just sort of like, okay, it's like a 5-second. But this was like, it felt 20 minutes. It probably was like 3, but like.
Yeah,
it was long. They sung the entire full song. I wanted to kind of look on Spotify to see if the song was there, but like I don't know if they track like what you do on there. And so,
and the worst part about this is the ending, when he takes off the headset and the grandpa's just grinning, looks very satisfied, and closes his eyes because he's clearly sleepy. After watching the Wookiee porn. I shit you fucking not.
But don't worry, this probably aired at like 7 p.m.
Oh yeah, this aired during prime family time. Yeah, the Wookiee grandpa finished his present. Jesus fucking Christ. We get more footage of the Falcon, and now the Imperials, basically, they're mad, and basically they're gonna start searching the place, and they start just breaking everything in their fucking home.
Yeah, they just, because at this point the Imperials are like, they come to their house. At a certain point, they end up in the kid's bedroom, and they're just fucking trashing this kid's bedroom.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they're there supposedly to look for a rebel, but like literally, they're just opening a small little cupboard and like breaking the shit in there.
They looked at a stuffed animal and destroyed it.
Just ripped up the bantha. I wrote, at this point, I'm on the Empire side. Go Empire.
If I had watched this prior to seeing Empire Strikes Back, I probably would have been too.
Yeah, I mean, and so at this point, and then I did this periodically throughout in my notes. I wrote down the time, 42 minutes. I wrote down periodically just how far. And again, the trader again with code, but the code is not exactly fucking subtle.
No, and at this point, At this point, the Imperials now get to look at the mother's present from the trailer, which was a performance by Jefferson Starship.
Yeah, so the Imperial commander's just gonna take a fucking trippy ass 5-minute song break while he's just gonna take a song break to just fucking watch this while searching for rebels.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ! It's because Jefferson Starship has Starship in their name. That's literally the reason why they're chosen for this. But hey, I mean, I'm sure they got paid. So
I'm sure they got paid. I'm sure part of it is that they were probably whatever record label they were with is probably partly owned by the goddamn people who network or whatever this is.
Yeah, and so again, so they're randomly searching. They say they're randomly searching everywhere. The Imperials like everybody, but then so why does the commander have time for a song break to watch TV?
Because they haven't done a variety show thing.
So now we get to see Lumpy with his present. And his present is we go into an animated sequence.
But that's the thing, that's not his present.
That's just him watching TV.
Yeah, it's just and this is the part that I liked.
The animated sequence?
Yes.
So I will say this. No, and this is not.
There were giant fucking chunks just cut out that made it not make a whole lot of sense. But
now, my view is not the same. But if you ask the people, the holes of people that have seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, you are far from the only person that liked the animation. There's a lot of people that like the animation.
Let me mention a few things. One, the animation is horrible.
Oh God! It's
then the animation is like is done by like an 8-year-old who is drawing for the first time.
Well, see, the way I thought was it's someone who watched the original Star Wars, then is now 15 years into a meth addiction, and now he's doing it.
The problem I had with I thought the animation, and I didn't fault the animation at all, only because I wasn't sure if this wasn't like I haven't watched 70s cartoons in like a long time. I don't remember if I did as a kid, and I don't know if this was not necessarily uncommon. It
was uncommon.
Okay.
Yeah, this animation was
okay. I wasn't sure if this was like some animation style. I was of all the things, this is what I was willing to give on the benefit. But the benefit that I wasn't going to give was that it felt like this cartoon was something they did that was originally like 45 minutes long and meant to be an hour-long special.
Yeah.
And they cut it down to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the part that I had a problem with is there were giant chunks. Because this cartoon scene is the first time you ever see Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And I think
on a dinosaur.
Yeah,
but
like there's weird shit in Star Wars.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird dinosaur type shit.
And so I was assuming this was meant to be like, hey, if this had worked out right, they're introducing him for future stuff. But like the part I had a problem with is they cut giant 20-minute chunks out of explaining like. There's a part where Boba Fett meets, I think it was it Luke? Yeah, Luke and stuff. And but the next scene, him and Luke are like buddies, which is fine, except that you cut out all of that dialogue.
Yep.
And so, and that's the part I'd be interested in seeing the full version. I'm not saying maybe it's worse. It's entirely possible, knowing this thing is that it's worse. But this is the part that I found interesting was that.
Yeah, I will say a couple. One, out of all the aspects of this movie, quote unquote movie, I would say I think that the animated sequence is definitely the least crappy by far. Throughout, because as you mentioned, Boba acts like a buddy, but he turns out, it says when C-3PO was translating at the end. And there's two main problems I have with this. See, translate at the end. Oh, Chewie says that after they saw all's well that ends well. Chewie says that he knew all along that Boba was. Chewie was going along with him the entire he was going along with everything Boba was doing. I'm okay, if you're an asshole then, but okay. But here's the other thing. And again, this is the context of the movie. So again, the setup is these Imperials are sacking shit. So Lumpy has decided to watch TV. He's decided to watch one of his shows. That's the setup. So in this context that they've established, the rebels, Han, Chewie, all of them, they're also stars of of an animated show as themselves, as rebels fighting the Empire, and we're like and there's Imperials behind Lumpy. That are searching for rebels. They're searching for his dad, and he's watching and they're trying to go, no, we don't know any rebels here. And he's watching an animated show about his dad being a rebel and fighting the Empire. I mean, the fucking lack of logic. At this point, 1 hour in.
Yeah, it felt like 4.
It did. It really, really does.
And don't get me wrong, like, I didn't think there was like any logic whatsoever behind me liking it. I was just like, something I might be able to enjoy.
Yeah, a lot of people do like the animated sequence. I mean, that's why Boba Fett ended up being in The Empire Strikes Back, and as it became such a big thing, is because they took Boba away from it. So basically, they finished ripping apart his room, and then the commander's like, "Yeah, go clean up your room." Like, Jesus fucking asshole. Oh, Lumpy is a dipshit. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I mean, and as you said, that's where like they ripped apart the stuffed animal. I mean, what was the point of that other than being an
asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, what if the Chewie? What if the person they're looking for from this isn't part of the rebels?
Yeah.
You're just fucking destroying. You're gonna create a rebel.
Yeah. And so here's again, we get our next variety segment. Lumpy's troubleshooting something that he has, and so he's watching a help video of a robot that looks like a human. So apparently, Star Wars has human Cylons. Okay.
Was Battlestar out yet?
I don't know. This was made 1978. But not human. It was, remember, the original Battlestar did not have human Cylons.
Okay, okay.
But also like we don't know what this product is. It's just like it's some futuristic, keyboard thing, and we're watching Lumpy watch a video on troubleshooting, fixing this thing that we don't know what it is, and we don't know what's being done to it.
Yeah, but don't worry, they spend a lot of time on this, and here's the part that Charles, I had a bigger problem with than your problem with the whole like rebel cartoon thing, is that this is meant to be like a video that they send out with every one of these things to tell you how to put it together, but like the robot is broken, and like he doesn't do stuff right, and it's like it's constantly messing up during the course of like. But this is meant to be what you're sending with the product for people to use.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm like, is all this shit canon? Like, the fact that they're stars of an animated show, the fact that we have fucking human Cylon robots. I'm like, is this shit canon in Star Wars?
Yeah, and don't worry, there's about to be a reality show about Tatooine.
Yeah, and oh god, and I wrote at this point, I put in large cap. How much drugs did Valance take while writing this?
And why did anybody ever let him do anything else ever again?
Yeah, I know. And by the way, again, as I said, Lucas wanted an all Wookiees with 0 subtitles or translations, so this shit stain is on him too. This shit stain is on Lucas also.
Yes.
I mean, why CBS watched episode 4 and thought this universe would be a perfect fit for a fucking variety show with porn for kids?
Yeah.
And then we get transition to another, like, they have a they go on a view screen. The Imperial again, the commanders again are like,
this is fucking weird.
They watch on a view screen where they apparently have a feed into Budget Mos Eisley.
And more than that, did you catch the preface for it being on the view screen? They said that it was required for all Imperial troopers to stop what they're doing and watch this.
Yeah.
And it's literally like Budget Mos Eisley, and it's like, yeah.
And a fun fact about this, so seeing, B. Arthur, Blanche from the Golden Girls, she's the bartender in this really long scene. so there's obviously a lot of people in masks. Every single person in the mask almost died. If you see if you go back and watch, there's going to be some like characters in masks that look like kind of like their head down. That's not faking. They're almost dead.
Oh, wow.
Every single person that was wearing like a mask, nobody could breathe, and so like everybody in that scene that was wearing a mask, they almost died repeatedly filming this fucking scene because it was really fucking hot and they couldn't breathe in their mask. So people were passing out during filming like repeatedly. So if you see what looks like to be an unconscious alien, that person's dying.
And what I think part of this is that at this point they're like, okay, we can't do any more fucking Wookiees.
Yeah.
but we have to get to like an hour and 37 minutes for this to air, and so okay, this budget most likely has to be 15 minutes.
Yeah, and so she first of all we see her stomp on this heart of this sad fuck. And then the clientels are being assholes because like she's like, hey, you gotta shut down because like curfew. She's like, okay, go home. And, like no one's going home. They're like fuck you.
We're alcoholics. Fuck you.
Yeah. And so she launches into a fucking song.
Yeah.
Because of course, B. Arthur and then Golden Girls was going on at this time. B. Arthur says quite simply, I did this because they offered me money and my son was a big fan of the original movie. So. That's why she did it, and I get it. And it doesn't affect her.
Yeah, it doesn't affect her, but also it was kind of... I think what happens to a lot of these people is that it's like a Star Wars thing, so they signed on to do it, and variety shows were all the rage back then. And it was like once they realized how shitty it was going to be, they were they couldn't.
Yeah. And so, like, we're back, and so we go back, and then like they're gonna all the Imperials are finally gonna leave. They're like, all right, yeah, you stay here because one person's not home, so they're an Imperial. I'm like, so if anybody's not home, that they're a rebel. Like they said, he's not home, so he's a rebel. I mean, and so then. Lumpy, there's like a cliffhanger moment as it probably went to commercial where like now Lumpy's like outside on the deck and the Imperial has a gun trained on Lumpy. Will Lumpy die? I sure hope so.
Yeah, I think both people still watching were probably thinking the same thing.
I know. But we're saved, right? Chewie and Han arrive. Chewie arrives, he sees an Imperial stormtrooper pointing a gun at his son. It's time for Chewie to whoop some ass, right? Chewie and Han are going to throw some punches. They're going to take out this
because that would have been perfect for like. At least it was building. No, it just.
So the stormtrooper takes a step, touches the railing that Lumpy earlier walked on, so they established that it was strong, and it just falls apart, and he falls to his death.
And I have a funnier part, Charles. Okay, did you catch the part after this? Okay. Chewie makes sure he grabs his gun before he goes and sees his family. And I know it was because they wanted to have the crossbow in the variety show, but I found it really weird that on a few different occasions here at the end, Chewie made sure he grabbed his gun before he went and spoke with his wife and kid.
Yeah. And so, all of a sudden, we get everybody there, Luke, Leia, and then we're celebrating Life Day, and it's really weird because now Carrie Fisher's singing, but, she's singing, the song is the Star Wars, the song, the Star Wars song, so which it exists, apparently the song exists in the Star Wars universe. She's singing lyrics to it, but if you catch it, the lyrics that she's singing are not in musical alignment whatsoever with the story. It's like if you're playing the song, the melody to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but you're saying the lyrics to Metallica's One. That it does not line up at all. And their Life Day, the Wookiees start floating and traveling through space.
It's one of those things where you think you're like, oh, Chewie and Han just saved the family. This fucking thing's gonna end, and it's like, nah, it's gonna end like 5 more times.
Yeah, and it's just it's just weird, and God, but it does eventually end.
It does eventually end,
and so Diamond or dud. Let's go over our.
Yeah, why don't you go over our scale?
So there's two scales. There's a diamond scale and there's a dud. Diamond is it's a legitimately good movie. Range from 1 to 5. 1 higher being the more better. The dud is it's overall it's a bad movie, but the higher on the dud scale from 1 to 5, like the more rewatchable it still is. Guilty pleasure, so bad it's good, that kind of thing, campy kind of thing. So what's your?
I don't think it's a question. It's a dud.
Yeah. What number?
I'm fighting between two items here. It's like I truthfully feel everybody should watch this once, but you know what? A dud 0.5.
Mine's a dud, and my official statement is can I give it less than 0?
It's just
can I give it less than 0?
And my only thing was like, does the fact with the way our scale works, is this like the definition of a dud 5? Which
it's hard to watch.
I think that was my thing. I think everybody should watch this once.
Yeah.
But I don't think,
Like, I'll tell you, I watched this in like 6 increments. I could not watch this straight through again. I had to do it in like 15-minute chunks in order to save my sanity. So, all right, where are we going to be looking at next time?
Next time we're gonna do War of the Worlds.
The new one.
The new one that Mr. Ivan here realized there was going to be a new one when we talked about doing a new. I'm like, oh, haven't we both seen the Tom Cruise movie?
Nope. This one came out earlier this year in 2025, starring Ice Cube and Agent Coulson from Eva Longoria and Agent Coulson from. So we will see.
And like, comment, subscribe.
All the things.
All the fun stuff. Every little bit helps, and we appreciate it. And we will see everybody in the next one.
Have a week.
Bye.